Make sure to be a member on the channel, link is in the description. Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video about the custom loadouts. So this is kind of a opinion video, but it's some ideas on what aircraft really need the custom loadout ASAP. As soon as Gaijin can, would be nice to have this because it would maybe completely change the way that the aircraft fly, or at least change a little bit. So we're going to talk a little bit about tier 7 first, but first of all, make sure to subscribe, be a member if you want to help the channel, and click on the little bell icon to receive all the notifications about the new videos coming out. And let's get into it. So we're going to talk about first tier 7. Obviously, we always think about attacker first, so let's start with the USA. Of course, the A7E and A7D. I mean, I don't have to explain much. Just, yeah, look at the amount of payloads options that we can have it. So the idea here is that, I mean, you have three pylons under the wings. Of course, these ones are always for the missiles. And yeah, look at this. This is the maximum amount of Mark 82s that you can carry, and you actually are limited because you cannot use the other pylon for other stuff. Maybe because of weight, or I don't know, maybe it's for balancing purposes, but maybe you can carry the walleyes here, or the GBUs, or the Mavericks on the A7D. So yeah, there's a ton of options, and they're normally in these they are normally limited for a single type of ordnance, you know. So for example, these are the missiles, the ordnance that you can have, and without the missiles. But yeah, only Mark 82s with AIM-9D, only Zunis with the AIM-9D, only the Mark 81 with the AIM-9D, and etc. etc. So AIM-9G, Mark 82, AIM-9G, Mark 84. So it's always limited for one type of weapon together with the missile, or just one type of weapon in general. So you cannot take the GBUs, for example, together with other bombs. I mean, maybe you will not use the walleyes, the 6 walleyes in one time, you know. So yeah, I don't have to explain everything, but you understand that there's a lot of things that should be added. And yeah, other aircraft that should receive this as soon as possible. I mean, the F8 could receive it, would be nice, but it doesn't change that much, you know. I think the most changeable things, of course, the FRG a little bit, but I think the most, yeah, of course, because of these type of things. I mean, why would you take these many rockets and not take a bomb, for example? Doesn't make much sense. So yeah, this would be nice to have to actually choose what you have and what you do. Maybe in a ground battle you don't need the 4 AIM-7s. You can only maybe take 2. I don't know, and do whatever you want. But the FRE is the main thing. It's very limited because you can only take one type of weapon as well, you know, together with the missiles. So as just bombs, for example. And then we have the Mavericks down here they don't do anything alone, you know. So you can take 4 Mavericks, but where's the AIM-9 here? I mean, you should be able to take an AIM-9 here. And bombs on the other pylons, where are the Sparrows? It doesn't make any sense, you know, to not have this. So I think they are adding it for every aircraft in top tier at least. But these are the aircraft that really need it. So the F4s, the attackers, of course, the F5 can receive it. It would be nice, but it doesn't change that much. So I think the main thing is the F4E mainly, and the F4J, and especially the A7s. In Germany, would we have the MLA already with it? Maybe the BIS would be nice, doesn't change much. The 21MF as well. Su-22 already have it. 23MF would be nice, but it doesn't change much. F104 doesn't change much. The F4F, yeah, same problem with the F4F. So yeah, for example here, let's change this. And the F4F, of course, can take the Maverick together with the missiles, which is a pretty good loadout. But if you are using the Maverick, you are ground attacking. So where are the other things? You cannot take bombs, you cannot take anything. So yeah, the main, I mean, the 23 MLA, the Su-22 would be the main things, but they already have it, so would be the F4F. For Russia, I mean, I cannot say enough. The Su-22, of course, needed. It's the same as the other Sukhoi, but it can take more FAB 500s. So it would be nice to take the FAB 500s together with our 60s, more 60s maybe, and to have the option to take 6 R60s together with 6 bombs, for example, which is a thing that you can do on the UM3K, and especially change it up a bit in the anti-tank department here. You can take even more missiles, maybe more bombs, of course. The Su-17, of course, would be nice to have this. Of course, it's basically the same principle, you know, so yeah. I mean, it's very limiting if you use only the KH-29. So yeah, I mean, it still has a lot of pylons that can take back there. So yeah, this should be added to be able to carry more stuff, you know. Um, but I think the main thing is the MiG-27s. Of course, the MiG-27s have a main problem that you cannot take the KH-29T, which is the main weapon of this aircraft. It's the strongest weapon that this aircraft have, together with other things. So you cannot take our 60s down here. You cannot take anything. So this is probably the main aircraft that I wanted to talk about. This aircraft really needed. So maybe you can take the KH-29T with CAB 500s, maybe some FABs in here, back there. So maybe one pylon take 2 R60s and the other a CAB 500 or a KH-25. So really needed. Of course the M as well. Of course the MLD needed, so you can take the R and the T variant of the R24. Other things, of course, the Beast is good, the SMT would be nice, the 23M would be nice, but they are not as important. Uh, in England, of course, the F4s, same problem as before. I mean, you cannot take bombs together with missiles without taking the cannon, and I like to fly without the cannon, so this becomes a problem, a little problem, but it is a problem. The FG1, of course, the Jaguar. I mean, it doesn't change much, but it would be nice to choose between rockets and bombs together, you know. So it would be nice to take the laser guided together with some rockets, for example. You cannot do that. So yeah, would be nice, but it's not the main thing. Uh, Japan, of course, the F4, same problem as before. China, I mean, it's not the main thing. Seriously, like the F5 should get it, you know, but it doesn't change that much. He already has various amounts of. I mean, it can carry both types of everything basically. The only thing that it cannot take is one the market it choose together with some rockets and stuff. So it would be nice, but it's not very limiting. The J7 doesn't need it, but it would be nice. The F104G as well. Italy, of course, only has the ASA, which already has it, and France should receive probably maybe in the Mirage 5 and the 3s. Doesn't change much, but it would be nice. The F8, of course, it would be nice, but basically doesn't change anything as well. So yeah, the Mirage F1, of course, already has it. Sweden, the Draken doesn't change much, even though I think the M4 should be added to the Draken, but the vegan, then the Yacht vegan would be nice, but it doesn't change much as well. I mean, I don't think it would make any sense. Maybe only for asymmetrical loads. But the AJ37 would be nice. So my idea here, I don't know if it's realistic or not, but maybe with the custom loadout you can actually take maybe one AIM-9 and one Maverick, or two Mavericks and two AIM-9s. But the main thing is one countermeasure pod and one cannon. This would improve a lot the capabilities of this aircraft. It would have very low ammo and very low countermeasures, but it would improve its capability a lot. I think it would be amazing to have that. And for Israel, I think the Kafir is the main thing, of course, together with the F4. But yeah, as you see, it has some options, but it is kind of limiting. And another thing that I want to talk about is that you cannot take, like, I mean, of course, it's good to take 9 1,000-pound bombs, the Mark 83s, but maybe I don't want to destroy that many bases. And I can take only 7 or only 6 or only 1 or 2, you know. This option to actually choose how many bombs you take, it would be nice for the performance of the aircraft. The Mirage 3 doesn't matter that much, therefore it's the same as the American one. As you see, it would be nice, especially for the Mavericks, to take together maybe with some GPUs, maybe, you know, allies, I mean. So maybe take the two outer pylons allies together with two Mavericks in each side and one M9 together with the Sparrows, for example, would be amazing. So yeah, and then a share, for example, would be nice, but it doesn't change much. So yeah, this is for tier 7, that I think it's the most important one. For tier 6, there are some options. For example, USA. I mean, F-104 doesn't matter. All these aircraft don't matter that much, even though the F-4C would be nice to have it. Yeah, would change a bit. The F-100 even would be nice, so that you can take the blast bombs. Basically, would be a very good option, or together with the, I mean, rockets and pop-ups. I don't know, something like that would be nice. F8 doesn't change much, you know. Uh, would be nice, but I don't know. These aircraft doesn't change. These aircraft doesn't change much, but it would be nice. Day 4 is one that it would change a lot, so you can choose the specific thing that you can carry. Um, the F-105 as well. I mean, would be nice to carry in one pylon on the wings here. Let's check with this. The same principle as in the AJ37. Would be nice to carry the countermeasure pod together with some AIM-9s on the right wing, together with the bombs. Maybe carry bombs inside the bomb payload, the bomb, the compartment there that carry bombs. I don't think it can carry anything in there in game, but in real life it would carry, right? I don't know, but yeah, I have to research that. But would be a nice aircraft to have it. I think the premiums, of course, always nice to have in the A5. Of course, the A10 already have it, and the A4, it's one of the main ones. So yeah, the A4 can be can be very limiting. I mean, you cannot take various options that you can take. You cannot. So especially when you mix bombs with rockets, you are pretty limited. You know, you can, but it is very limiting. For example, here I don't think there is even a guided bomb will ally together with rockets. So yeah, for Germany, of course, basically nothing. USSR, basically just the Su-7s, probably. You know, doesn't change much for the other ones. Maybe the Yak-38, but I don't know. For tier 6 in Great Britain, only maybe the Jaguar, maybe the Buccaneer, because there's a lot of payloads there. For Japan, of course, the F1 and the T2 would be nice, because they are, as I said before, limited for the type of loadout. You cannot take rockets together with bombs, and it is very limiting sometimes. Chinese, I think maybe the Q5, but doesn't change much. Italy doesn't change much. France, yeah, maybe the Jaguar, of course. The Etendard would be nice, but doesn't change much. Sweden, maybe the 32 or even the J32 because of the loadouts, but it doesn't change much as well. Israel, of course, these aircraft no, but the A4, of course, it has a lot of options. So maybe you can carry 3 Mavericks together with 2 allies and stuff like that. It would be a heavy aircraft, but it would work. And in on tiers 5 below, you know, I don't think props should receive it. I don't think it would change anything. And most of the tier 5s would not change as well. I mean, basically just seeing right here doesn't change. Where is rank 5? Here. Doesn't change much, you know. Maybe the F-84s would be the only actually aircraft that I really need it because of its payload, you know. So yeah, I would say just the F-84s because everything else doesn't change much, you know. When you have just a few tiny bits of uh, payload, it doesn't change much because they can code it very quickly. Everything that can be added to that. Maybe the bombers or something like that. but it really doesn't change much. I think only the F-84. And below that, nothing really would change. Even like a bomber, like a B-29. I mean, it's very limited because you're not gonna take less bombs than that because you're not trying to get performance out of it. So it just doesn't matter. And for fighters like this, maybe an aircraft like the P-47 or some American aircraft that has a lot of payloads, but it, like this, I mean, every single option is right here. You don't need it, you know? So yeah, basically this was it, guys. Is a thing that is very different in the game and it is very welcome. I think it's one of the best additions for top tier, especially, and I cannot wait until we see more aircraft with it and new aircraft coming probably in this patch with it as well. So I see you guys on the next one. I hope you enjoyed and yeah, bye guys.